Hello folks, this is Tiny Games Lab, and I'm here to teach you how to use the AdMob Google Mobile Ads service into your Android game. I'm going to be using GameMaker 1.4 version. It should apply, everything I do here should apply easily to the 2.0 version without any issues. The first thing you have to do, you have to go to the marketplace and you have to download this Google Play services. So it's pretty simple. You're going to download an extension, and then whenever we go into the coding, you'll see we import it into our game or our app or anything like that. Okay, so very simple. Just go there and download these Google Play services. Also, one thing you're going to have to do is you can go into this developers.google.com/admob. I'm going to show you all the links on the description, but from here we're going to get some IDs that we can use to test our ads. And whenever you're ready, you can go actually into the AdMob platform and create or sign into this platform, create your own user, and then add your own ads to your game. But for the testing purpose, I'm going to use these provided IDs. So the first ID we're going to use is this app ID. So I'm just going to copy this app ID into the game. You're going to see that at one point we're going to copy the app ID here. And if we click on those test ads also, we're going to get the banner test ad ID, the interstitial, I'm going to use interstitial image, this is the first one. And the rewarded video also, the fourth one. I'm going to use all these test IDs because I don't want to mess around with my own IDs right now. Otherwise, if you don't use it properly, you can get banned because you're watching your own ads. That's not good. Okay, so let's head to the code part. Okay, so we have a game that has some sprites. These are just basic button sprites that we're going to use. So the first thing we have to do, we have to load a new extension. So let's import a new extension. And that's extension I showed you guys how to get from the website, from the marketplace. Okay, so we're importing this extension. Okay, and we get this nice little functions over here. So let's start by creating a new object. I'm going to call it oControl. And we're going to add a start event. Let's go on add event, other, game start. And let's add a code to it. Okay, so we're going to start by initiating our IDs. So the first thing we're going to do is going to set up OS type to check if it is equal to Android. And we're going to start by adding those IDs we got from the Google Ads developer website. Okay, so we're going to use the test IDs. This is the app ID, banner ID, the interstitial ID, and lastly the reward ID. Okay, so we got all these 4 IDs. Now we're gonna initialize our extension. So we're gonna start by doing the Google Ads init. Okay, so we use the interstitial ID for this and the application ID. And with that, we should initialize our interstitial ads. Okay, so we're going to use Go Mobile load interstitial. And interstitial loaded equals to false. We're going to use this variable later on. And let's do the same for rewarded video. So let's load our rewarded video using our rewarded ID. Let's set up 2 variables, rewarded loaded equals to false and reward viewed equals to false. Okay, so lastly we're going to set up this ads, Google Mobile Ads use test ads. So this would be equals to 1, and then our device ID that we get from debugging our mobile phone. This is only used if you're going to be using your own ads IDs here, so you don't actually screw up. They get, when you click in testing, they get counted as real clicking and you get banned from using the AdMob. And in this case, since we're using just test IDs, I can just remove this. Okay. And then we're gonna go to the async event. So we set up everything on the start event. Then we're gonna get a social async event when things start loading. So we're gonna use this. And basically, we're going to check for async load. Okay, this is a DS map. Then we're going to go, sorry, I had a lot of enters here. Then we're going to get back from the game. So we're going to set up an ID variable that's going to be async load ID. And we're going to use a if statement to check if that is equal to Google Mobile Ads async event. If it is, we're going to get the identity of this, which is the type of event that loaded this async event. And we're going to use a switch statement to actually run it. Okay, so switch ident, and we're going to go case if it's banner load, if async load and the loaded key is equal to 1, which means that it was loaded, we're going to move our banner. Okay, so it means that the banner was loaded and we need to move it. So for our display exposition, we're going to use display get width divided by 2 and display Google Mobile Ads banner get width divided by 2 also. Okay, so we're actually centering to the screen, and display get width get view height minus Google Mobile Ads banner get height. Okay, so we're centering to the screen on the exposition, and we're using the lower section of our screen to display this banner. Okay, so let's close it. And with this, what I'm going to do here, I want to show an async message. You don't have to do this in your game. I'm just doing this so I can show you guys when I'm testing on my mobile screen and showing it. I can show you what's happening, so a lot of messages will pop up, but you don't have to do it in your own game, of course. So I'm going to show banner loaded. Perfect. Let's close this if statement. Let's break this case and let's do the next case. So if it is interstitial load, we're going to do the same if statement. So I'm going to check if the async was loaded correctly. And then if it is, I'm going to set up my interstitial loaded variable to true. Okay, and I'm going to show message async also telling that interstitial was loaded. Okay, I'm going to use that variable interstitial loaded equals to true on a different object. So whenever I click that, it's going to show my interstitial ad. Okay, I don't want to show it immediately. And let's break this and let's do a new case, rewarded video ad loaded. So okay, for the rewarded video, we have a lot of different identities we can get back from this event. So we're gonna do this reward video ad loaded, then open, started. So let's go through all of them. So if the ad was loaded, I'm gonna set this variable rewarded loaded equals to true, and I'm gonna show a message telling you that the rewarded video was loaded. Okay, break. And then if rewarded, if this async event identity was rewarded video opened, I'm just gonna set up this rewarded view variable to false, because I want to set it back to false. We want to track if the player actually watched the whole video. That's why I'm setting it to false to begin with. And I'm going to show a async event telling that the video was opened. And break. Next one, rewarded video is started, which means that the video has started playing. Show message async event, reward started, break, and lastly, rewarded video watched. Okay, so hasn't been watched. So let's set the rewarded video viewed equals to true, so it was watched. Show message async, so we're going to show the message rewarded video watched. And here, what you can do, you can actually give the player whatever benefit or reward they got by using this async load currency and async load amount. Okay, so that's what the AdMob gives you back whenever the player has watched. So you can set this currency, I don't know, maybe 10, gems, and the amount to 10 gems. So whenever you watch the video and finish it, you get 10 gems back, something like that. Okay, and break. And lastly, rewarded video ad closed. So what happens when someone closes the video? First, we want to check, okay, if rewarded video equals to false. So the player has closed the video, but it has not watched all the way through the end. Okay, so if that happens, we're going to show a message telling that the rewarded video closed before ad finished. And that's it. Let's break. Let's close all our if statements. And we have our object control already done. Okay, so let's close this down. And let's add a new object. I'm going to call it object banner, so O banner. And we're going to set up this tab event. And control code. Okay, so in this tab event, I'm going to start with an if statement. I'm going to check device mouse check button pressed. Okay, 0 and MB left. And I'm going to check the position meeting. mouse X, mouse Y, and self. So what I'm doing here, I'm checking if the device was pressed or the click button was pressed. So someone pressed the screen, and if it already pressed on top of my object, so actually I'm getting the object being clicked. So if that happens, I'm gonna add the banner to the game. It's gonna be OControl banner ID. Okay, so I'm getting this ID back from the OControl object, and I'm gonna use Google Mobile Ads Smart Banner. This is a banner that actually switches size depending on your screen size, so it's a nice way to do. You have a lot of different banners you can use. And let's close it. And let's do this and change this to sprite banner, and we're ready with this object. Okay, so let's add a new object. I'm gonna call it O_int of interstitial. Let's set the sprite to sprite image, and let's set up a step event. So step, and there we go. So in this step event, I'm going to start with an if statement. I'm going to check if the OControl interstitial loaded is true. If it is true, I'm going to set my sprite to sprite play, so I can show you guys that something has changed. If not, sprite index equals to sprite image. Okay. Then I'm going to check also for the click, if we're clicking this object. So same thing as before, position meeting, mouse X, mouse Y, and self. Okay. If it is, I'm going to check if the OControl interstitial loaded is also true. If it is true, we show the interstitial ad. If it is true, when we click and show this ad, we're going to set it to false because I'm going to load a new ad afterwards. Okay, so if it's not true, we're going to load a new ad. Okay, and that's basically it for this object. And let's create a new one. It's going to be object video. So that's our rewarded video here. We're also going to set a step event to that. Okay. And we're going to start also with the if statement. So rewarded loaded in this case. If it is, sprite index is going to be sprite play. If it is not, sprite index equals sprite video. Okay. And also we're going to check the same if statement. So have we been clicked or not? Okay, position meeting, mouse X, mouse Y, and self. If it is, we're going to check if rewarded loaded equals true. Same thing as before. And then if it is true, we're going to show our video. Okay, and we're going to set this variable to false so we can load a new video afterwards. If it is not, we're going to actually load the video. Okay, and we have to use the rewarded ID here. Perfect. And that's basically it. Sorry, I have a double here. And there we go. Okay, so with this, everything should work. Sorry, I forgot to set up my sprite to this. Let's set the sprite. Okay, so I'm gonna add a new room. This room is gonna be 480 by 720. Okay, I'm gonna set the snap to 40, just so it's easy to center objects. I'm gonna add all these objects to the screen. Object banner, object image, object video. Okay, and the last thing we have to do is we have to go to our global game settings, and we have to go to our Android, and we need to set this minimum SDK to version 14. Okay, otherwise it won't work because that's the version of the Google Play Service extension we're using. And with that, we should just save it and test it, and everything should work out well. Okay. Okay, so this is my mobile screen. I'm going to click on the app, and it's loading the app. And I have this banner, the interstitial and the video buttons. So the interstitial loaded right when I open the app, so I get this message. And the rewarded video also already loaded, so that means that they're ready to play whenever I click the buttons. So I'm going to start by clicking on the banner button, and I loaded the banner. And you can see that on the bottom of the screen, center to the screen, I got this little 320 by 50 test ad banner. Okay, I'm going to click on the interstitial, which is now the play ad sprite. And you can see that it opened an interstitial ad that fills the whole screen. I can close it. If I want to load a new one, I just click on that button again, and it loaded a new one, and I can use it again. And lastly, I have this play ad. The last one is going to be the video, the reward video. I open it, and the video is playing right now, but I can close it. So I'm going to click on the close button. It's telling me that I'm closing before finishing watching. I'm going to give it an OK. And you can see that rewarded was opened, rewarded was started, rewarded video closed before ad finished. So you can see that the game gives us this screen back telling us that it has not been played through, so you can use that to do any code in your game. But if I click again, it's gonna load a new one, and load it. And let's play it all the way through the end, and you're gonna see that it's gonna be giving me my reward because I watched the whole 30 seconds of the video. Okay, so we're getting close to the end, and you can see that I got unrewarded currency and I got the 10 coins because that's what was set up on this test ad. I'm gonna close it and I get all those messages back again. So reward opened, rewarded started, reward banner loaded, sorry, because I click on the banner, rewarded video closed before ad finished, and that's it. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more tutorials like this, please let me know. If you want to go into more details of any kind of banner ad, interstitial ad, Google mobile ads, or any kind of different ads, just let me know in the comment section below and I'll try to make a new tutorial for that. Okay, thanks for watching, I hope you liked it, and please subscribe to my channel.